move this. This is a little. All right, thank you very much. This has been very informative. I'm Julius Towers. I'm a member of FALA-NY New York, and I'm a senior counsel at Colgate-Palmolive Company. Now, I'm going to ask a question about the judiciary, not just because I'm a lawyer, but because the outcome of this election will impact the judiciary, and the judiciary's composition will impact us for decades to come. In particular, regarding the Supreme Court, issues that are critical to the Filipino-American community, immigrant rights, health care, things of that nature, are all coming up the pike. Now the question is, what are your candidates going to do about the judiciary? How will they plan to affect the judiciary? Now, in the history of this country, we have not had many Asian American federal court judges. In fact, we've only had 33. However, with the last presidency, we've had 17 of those 33. So hopefully we'll have more progression. Is your candidate actually vetting Asian American jurors to serve on the federal court as well as the Supreme Court? And in particular for the Republicans, will Merrick Garland ever get a vote?
In the Asian American community, there has been formed what we call Leaders Forum, and they are already listing out the names of those we would recommend, because it has been asked by the campaign headquarters of Hillary Clinton, who would we recommend for the judiciary and for all the other departments, the cabinet. But the most important is the judiciary. Supreme Court. The next president will decide whether Citizens United, allowing corporations to donate as much as they want to a political campaign, whether that will remain or whether that could be repealed. So many issues that the past administration, because of the numbers of conservative justices, have turned less and less giving rights to people of a greater number. So that's why for our candidate Hillary Clinton, I have no doubt that she will choose judges that are liberal to a certain extent, to keep to overturn Citizens United and to keep all the other affirmative action and abortion rights and so many others that are still in the books and that are being questioned now with the Supreme Court.
I'll just add to what Tita Loida by saying that Hillary really wants to make sure that the bench represents the diversity of the country. And appointing individuals that are diverse in terms of race, in terms of creed, in terms of gender. We saw historic progress on behalf of the Obama administration in doing so, and you can see the same from the Hillary Clinton. Also add on the other side some contrast in terms of Donald Trump. If you look at the individuals who he's recommending for the Supreme Court, extremely problematic in terms of their backgrounds and judgment. And also the fact that he would, in terms of Judge Curiel, automatically assume that he's not qualified just based on his Mexican heritage is problematic in so many ways. It's the exact opposite with Hillary. She really wants to make sure, again, that the bench is diverse. And she's pushing the Senate to make sure that we confirm future Justice Garland.
It's what's very interesting. First, Garland should get a hearing, and there is a movement, I hope, among Senate Republicans that continues to seem to grow to give him a hearing. You don't want to do what Democrats did to Robert Bork. You don't want to do all the list of Republican nominees that were shut down because they were too Christian or too ideological, or they liked the Constitution too much, or they were too respective of certain rights that another group didn't want. Here's the problem with where we're at in this moment. The Supreme Court should not be on the ballot in the way that it is. Can you imagine a candidate for the presidency of the United States? I was in an airport in Boston when I watched a press conference with Donald Trump listing his nominees in the middle of a political campaign before likely he had met any of them. And Hillary Clinton campaigned speaking very clearly about the political approach that her nominees would take to the Supreme Court. This is not, I know it moves voters. It moves interest groups and numbers, saying your rights will be taken away, your rights will be taken away if the other guy wins. The Supreme Court is supposed to be, in our system, above it all. If you're watching the Philippine system of government constitutionally, I was there for the ratification of the last constitution, is identical almost to our constitution here. And you see the constitutional crisis that is emerging with the Chief Justice and the President, because the Chief Justice has been questioning extrajudicial killings. That is the job of the Chief Justice. What if Duterte had been in the campaign saying, I'm going to nominate a new set of Supreme Court justices to the Philippine Supreme Court? Wait a second. Sir, that isn't your job or at this point your prerogative. You can outline in broad terms what you think the qualification should be, and we've been very careful. Democrats and Republican presidents have nominated people, typically, historically, based on their qualifications and not their political ideology. Please, let's help us get politics out of the discussion of the Supreme Court. I don't want to know what Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump today is thinking about the politics or the party or the beliefs of a Supreme Court nominee. It's inappropriate, and it's the wrong time to be discussing it.